Tesla is facing a tough challenge. China's BYD is outpacing Elon Musk's company, surpassing Tesla in sales, undercutting prices, and expanding at a rapid rate. The worst part? BYD isn't just competing with Tesla, it's reshaping the EV industry. While Musk struggles to reduce prices, Chinese automakers are flooding the market with more affordable and innovative electric vehicles. If Tesla cannot respond effectively, this could mark one of the most significant setbacks in EV history. But how did China achieve this? And can Tesla even survive? It begins with a hidden loophole, one that lets Chinese EVs enter the US market while avoiding hefty tariffs. And it's already changing everything. China's hidden advantage in the U.S.to protect American manufacturers. The US imposed a 25% tariff on Chinese-made electric vehicles, making them significantly more expensive for American consumers. The goal was clear: discourage Chinese automakers from selling their vehicles in the US and protect Tesla, Ford, General Motors, and other domestic brands from foreign competition. But China found a solution. Instead of giving up, Chinese automakers discovered a loophole that allows them to sell EVs in the US while avoiding these tariffs. The key to their success? Mexico. Thanks to the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, vehicles manufactured in Mexico can enter the US tariff-free, as long as they meet certain North American content standards. This agreement was intended to promote manufacturing in North America and enhance regional economic integration. But China seized this opportunity. Rather than shipping cars directly from China to the US, where they would be subject to government-funded factories and lower labor costs, have helped Chinese companies reduce costs. Unlike Tesla, which still faces production delays and supply chain challenges, Chinese manufacturers have streamlined their assembly lines, enabling them to produce cars more efficiently and affordably. As a result, Chinese electric vehicles are nearly 50% less expensive than Tesla models. A Tesla Model Y starts at $45,000, while some Chinese EVs with comparable range and technology are priced under $20,000. This significant price difference could force Tesla into a difficult position. Tesla is aware of this challenge, which is why Elon Musk has had to make aggressive price cuts just to remain competitive. Tesla's price reductions in response to China's increasing market share. Tesla has implemented substantial price reductions. Musk understands that in order for Tesla to stay competitive, it must lower its prices. However, this strategy comes with risks. Since early 2023, Tesla has been cutting prices on popular models, including the Model Y and Model 3. While this has boosted demand, it has also reduced Tesla's profit margins, making it harder to sustain long-term growth. Tesla faces a significant disadvantage because Chinese automakers have more flexibility to reduce prices. Unlike Tesla, which relies on third-party battery suppliers and higher production costs, Chinese companies control their entire manufacturing process, from battery production to final assembly. This vertical integration allows them to lower prices without sacrificing as much profit. Another challenge for Tesla is that China's EV market is evolving more rapidly than Tesla can keep up with. New Chinese brands like XPeng, NIO, and BYD are producing advanced, AI-powered electric vehicles that compete with Tesla's own technology. Some of these cars feature autonomous driving capabilities that are almost as advanced as Tesla's autopilot, but at half the price. If this trend continues, Tesla may struggle to survive a prolonged price war. Reducing prices can only go so far before it negatively impacts Tesla's financial health. Meanwhile, China's government-backed automakers have the resources to continue lowering prices for years, making it difficult for Tesla to compete on cost alone. The EV battery market. The most critical component of an electric vehicle is its battery. Without a battery, an EV is essentially just a shell. And China holds a major advantage in this area. Currently, 75% of the world's EV batteries are produced in China, a share no other country comes close to matching. While Tesla is the most recognizable EV brand, it also relies on Chinese battery suppliers to power its vehicles. The two largest battery manufacturers globally, Contemporary Amperex Technology Limited and BYD are both Chinese companies. These companies supply batteries to not only Tesla but also to Volkswagen, BMW, Ford, and nearly every major car manufacturer. This means that even when Tesla produces an American-made vehicle, there's a strong likelihood that the battery inside comes from China. China's advantage lies in its early investment in battery technology. The Chinese government committed billions of dollars to battery production years ago, ensuring that domestic companies would dominate the supply chain. They secured access to critical raw materials, built advanced factories, and developed cutting-edge battery chemistry, while the United States lagged behind. As a result, China controls the production of key materials like lithium, cobalt, and nickel, making their supply chain hard to disrupt. Even if the US wanted to break free from China's control, it would take years to establish the necessary infrastructure. Meanwhile, Chinese companies continue to rapidly scale up production, making it nearly impossible for competitors to catch up. How BYD outpaced Tesla. BYD is not your typical car manufacturer. It didn't start as an automaker, it was initially a battery producer. Before making its first car, BYD was one of the world's largest producers of rechargeable batteries for electronics. This gave BYD a significant advantage over Tesla. Unlike Tesla, which buys batteries from external suppliers, BYD manufactures its own batteries in-house. This vertical integration allows BYD to control costs, streamline production, and avoid supply chain disruptions. Tesla, on the other hand, is still dependent on third-party suppliers like CATL, Panasonic, and LG Energy Solution. Thanks to this control over its supply chain, BYD is now producing high-performance electric vehicles for under $20,000, something Tesla cannot do. While the cheapest Tesla, the Model 3, starts at nearly $40,000, BYD can offer more affordable alternatives. Selling fully electric vehicles for half the price while still making a profit, BYD's cost advantage is not only about batteries, it also involves efficiency. Chinese automakers have mastered low-cost, high-volume production. They utilize advanced automation, streamlined supply chains, and aggressive pricing strategies to undercut Tesla and other Western automakers. The result? BYD has now surpassed Tesla in global EV sales. In 2023, BYD officially became the world's top-selling EV brand, delivering more cars than Tesla for the first time. However, price is not the only area where China is excelling. Their EVs are not just cheaper, they are also smarter, and that is where Tesla's biggest challenge lies, the smart car revolution. When people think of smart cars, they typically think of Tesla. Autopilot, full self-driving, and AI-powered navigation were supposed to be Tesla's major advantages. But now, Chinese automakers are taking these ideas and refining them. Companies like XPeng and NIO are leading the way in self-driving technology, and their AI-powered driving systems are starting to rival Tesla's autopilot. For instance, XPeng has developed a feature called XNGP, which allows for fully autonomous city driving, something Tesla has struggled to implement. While Tesla has been refining its self-driving capabilities for years, China has one significant advantage: data. The more miles an AI system drives, the better it becomes. However, China does not share driving data with Tesla. Tesla has been locked out of collecting data from China's massive EV market, while Chinese automakers have access to billions of miles of real-world driving data. This gives them a significant edge in training their AI models, potentially allowing them to develop self-driving systems that could surpass Tesla's in the next few years. If Tesla cannot regain its lead in self-driving technology, it may lose one of its biggest selling points. And if Chinese automakers enter the US market, they could quickly dominate the smart EV space, leaving Tesla behind. Tesla's charging network may not be enough. For years, Tesla's supercharger network was considered its biggest advantage. No other automaker had a fast charging system that could match it. Tesla's network made long-distance travel easier, eliminating one of the biggest concerns for EV owners. But now, China is building more chargers at an unprecedented pace. The United States still has far fewer charging stations than China, and the gap is widening each year. China already has the world's largest EV infrastructure, with over 2 million public chargers installed, more than 10 times the number in the United States. While Tesla continues to expand its supercharger network, China's government is funding nationwide charging initiatives, making it easier for Chinese EVs to operate without range anxiety. Here is the biggest threat. If Chinese automakers flood the US market, they might build their own charging networks. Imagine a future where BYD, XPeng, and NIO establish their own charging stations across North America, reducing Tesla's supercharger dominance. If that happens, Tesla will no longer have a monopoly on fast charging, and its biggest infrastructure advantage could disappear, with every part of the EV industry under its control. China is pushing the United States and Tesla into a difficult position. Can they fight back, or is it already too late? The US fights back. Will tariffs save Tesla? Back in 2018, the United States imposed a 25% tariff on Chinese-made cars, effectively cutting off China's direct access to the American market. This move was intended to protect companies like Tesla, Ford, and General Motors from the unfair advantage that Chinese manufacturers gained through government subsidies. However, that tariff was only a temporary barrier. China has found ways to work around it, and its electric vehicle industry is stronger than ever now. Washington is considering even higher tariffs to make it nearly impossible for Chinese automakers to compete in the US market. However, there is a significant problem. The entire American auto industry depends on China for critical parts. Many components that go into Tesla, Ford, and General Motors vehicles, including batteries, microchips, and rare earth minerals, still come from Chinese suppliers. If the United States raises tariffs too aggressively, it could disrupt supply chains, increase costs for American automakers, and ultimately hurt domestic car production instead of helping it. The real question is whether these tariffs will protect Tesla and other American brands or push China to focus more on expanding into Mexico, a move that would allow Chinese companies to avoid US trade restrictions entirely. At this point, the United States finds itself in a dilemma. If it does nothing, China will dominate the market, but if it acts too aggressively, it may hurt its own industry.